Sorry, I'm getting a little bit emotional here. It's quite hard to read. It's fucking bullying. I'm not even gonna lie to you, I'm not reading the rest of the story, you know, because it's pissing me off. I'm actually getting really annoyed.
Is that enough?
It's been a while. I know, but I'm here. 2025, what a time to be alive. We are back in this bitch with the story times. And you guys, make sure you send me your stories to Dainasdiary@gmail.com for me to read it out in my next video. You guys have sent some really crazy ones so far, but they're getting crazier. And this one that I'm about to read you now, living with your worst enemy, sounds like something that we can all relate to, unfortunately. So should we just get right in? I know you usually do relationship story times, but can we talk about terrible friendships? If so, I have a story to tell. Yes, we can. That's actually another thing that I wanted to tell you guys. You don't only have to send in relationship stories. Send in your craziest stories, your craziest memories. It doesn't have to be about a relationship, and it don't have to be about a cheating man, because it seems like that's the theme over here on this channel, cheating man. Can we get off of that in 2025? There's more to life than cheating men, okay? Ooh. Just know, this is 9 years worth, so it's a little wordy. For a little anonymity, I'll use code names. I'm from a small village for context. I met this girl my 8th grade year of high school. We'll call her Sasha. She was outgoing and I was shy and introverted. We were having an end of year test. At the time, I had the answer code because my cousin took the test a year prior. So I gave out all the answers. After the test, Sasha came over to thank me and we became friends. We were inseparable ever since. Throughout high school, I had no issues with Sasha. Everything seemed really cool. We could talk on the phone for hours and hours. It was good vibes. Then it was time to graduate. I got accepted into a fashion school in California and she got accepted into a college in Ohio, which is huge news on both parts coming from small village girls. Period. Ain't that? We graduate high school 2009. She left for college in 2010. I was set to leave 2011. She called me one day from Ohio and was like, I really feel like we should be at the same school. Letting me know that she was having a blast and that she was living the American dream in a 4-bed, 3.5 bathroom house. She said the tuition was 8 times cheaper than what I was planning on spending and that we would be living it up. So I said, okay, let my mom know that I was coming, switching schools, and she was cool with it because she was already familiar with Sasha. This is gonna get crazy, I can just feel it. This is actually gonna get crazy. My mom's only concern was who Sasha was living with and our safety and security. So Sasha let her know she was living with her older cousin Melissa, and Melissa had a teenage daughter, and her other cousin Joshua, who would be coming over and joining us at the end of the year. Okay, this sounds like a lot of people already. So you got your friend, you got the cousin, you got the pitney, the daughter, yeah? So my mom was like, okay, cool, and I got my ticket and headed to Ohio. When I get there, Melissa and Sasha came and got me from the airport. Melissa looked at me from head to toe and said, oh, you're one of them, and rolled her eyes. One of what? Melissa looked at me from head to toe and said, oh, you're one of them, and rolled her eyes. I didn't think too deep into it because I knew I dressed up. Oh, okay. So basically they were intimidated because you're a bad bitch. Got it. I was just excited to be there and I got dirty looks all the time for the way I looked. I was used to it. As soon as I got to the house, before I could rest my bags down, Melissa called me to the kitchen table and said, I want you to know we have rules in this house. No staying out late, no heavy partying, no house parties, no pets, no inviting anyone over. We buy groceries together. So basically we move like a family unit. I said, okay, cool. I'm not here to disrespect anyone. I just want to have a good time. I'm not really a party girl anyway. I like the mall and food. And then she handed me a piece of paper and she said, that's your one lease agreement for the house. She said everybody had to sign one and that the landlord wanted the lease agreement back ASAP. Rent, $2,000, water, $300, internet, $200, light, $300, $400. And we were to split all the bills in 4. Melissa, Sasha, me, and Joshua. Keep that in mind that this is the year 2010, 2011, way before inflation, and that I was young and I didn't know how a lease or any of that nature worked. So I'm looking at Sasha like, girl, you been paying this? And she responded, yes. And that it shouldn't be that bad now because we were splitting it 4 ways, whereas her and Melissa originally split it 2 ways. So I asked her, how was she making the money? Because that's a lot. She told me she got a job on campus and that her family sends her money. I personally had a decent savings and I knew I'd be okay for about a year. So I had a year to start making extra money and to find a job. I'm the scapegoat in my family, so I already knew I could not ask anyone for help. I was on my own. Now that was over with, I said, so, can I get a tour of the house and where is my room? They both looked at each other like they were already irritated by me, and Sasha pointed me to a room in a corner and was like, that's your room right there. It was a small little room that had a twin bed, could barely fit in. And I said, bathroom? And she said, me, you and Joshua will be sharing a one bathroom. Oh, I don't like this already. Was it too late for you to just turn around and go back home? Because already I would have been cussing. I've not flown to Ohio to stay in one little dega room and share bathroom with you and your friend them and all your cousins. So I said, if this is my room, where is Joshua's room? She pointed to the middle of the house. It wasn't the living room, but a small little area sectioned off, no doors, just an open space. I said, okay, Sasha, I'm just glad we got to do college together. This will be so fun. Sasha left to call her mom and I went to take a shower. Mind you, the bathroom is in the middle of me and Sasha's room and the walls are thin. I can hear her on the phone telling her mum that I came all dolled up and looking bougie for little Ohio, that she thinks that this was a bad idea for me to come here. And her mum asked for details about what I was wearing and how I looked, which seemed a little odd to me because she asked for specific details. Her mum already knew me and knew how I presented myself. I went to bed after my shower and that's how the first night ended. In the morning, we headed to college so that I could fill out some paperwork and take the college entry exam. Melissa looked at me and said, I can already see you're gonna be a problem. Are you gonna dress like that every day? You seem like one of those girls who wear heels to school. I hope you're not that crazy. She went on a whole rant about my appearance while I just sat there and let her. I did not respond. You're better than me. It's always the ugly, jealous girls, isn't it? I don't even know what Melissa looked like, but I know she's ugly. It was summertime, so there wasn't much going on around campus. While in the office, Melissa and Sasha were texting each other back and forth, staring at me and just laughing, which is fine, but it felt so weird. After I took my exams, we headed back to the house and I went straight to my room. Melissa's teenage daughter knocked on my door and I told her to come in. She handed me her mum's phone and showed me messages of her and Sasha going back and forth talking crap about me. Melissa's also mistreated her daughter, for context. Oh, I was about to say, not the daughter snitching. Why is she snitching on her mum? I was so confused because I just got there. Barely. Said 2 words. I honestly didn't know what the issue was and why the hate was directed towards me. I'm a really curvy girl, small waist, wide hips. They were talking about my shape and how people only liked me for how I looked. Oh, so were they box-bodied? The only reason that I dressed that way is because I wasn't used to having anything, so I overdressed to make myself feel like somebody. That's, wow. No, but actually, deep that these are supposed to be her friends. These are actually supposed to be your friends talking about you like this. This is actually proper wicked. And this is when you see friends killing other friends and locking them in freezers and shit. And then you're just thinking, how did that happen? Because all along, they weren't your friend. All along, they hated you. All along, they were jealous of you. That's actually really scary. The only reason that I dressed the way I dressed is because I wasn't used to having anything, so I overdressed to make myself feel like I'm somebody. The text messages were a lot and uncalled for. Insult after insult. The last message sent was from Sasha stating, I don't know how I became friends with such an idiot. Oh, what did you do to them at this point? Did you do something that you're not telling me? Because why are they coming for you? Make you come out to Ohio to do college? Man. I've been there for all of 1 day and that's what was being said. Exactly, you've not even barely been there. I was honestly so hurt and confused because what was the reason? What was the reason? Why ask me to come here just to treat me like trash? Exactly. I didn't make a scene or say anything. I sat in my room and I cried. Aww. Later that night, we went to Walmart so I could get a few things to decorate my room. Sasha was real close to me the entire time, monitoring how much I was spending and what I was picking up, calculating everything in my basket. I picked up a laundry basket for $10 and she said, why buy that for $10 when they have the $1 ones that do the same thing? I said the $1 ones are flimsy, but I'm just an idiot. What do I know? I said, I saw the messages sent about me. I said, I saw the message you sent about me, that you don't know how you became friends with such an idiot. Why did you ask me to come here? I'm so confused. She started crying, and I mean on cue, and said it was all Melissa's fault, that she's afraid of Melissa, so she was just going with whatever Melissa said, asking me to forgive her. She went to the car while I continued to shop and she called everyone. Her mum, friends from high school, her family, my family, and made a whole Facebook post. She made herself to be the victim and me the villain. Then everyone started calling me, telling me I should just stick it out. Things get rough in the beginning and me and Sasha had been friends for so long, we shouldn't throw it away. I said okay, and I left it at that because I was legit getting calls back to back and I started to feel bad, like, am I wrong? No, you weren't wrong. You weren't wrong at all. And the fact they were able to just do that, like some professional Karens, is crazy to me, how they were able to pull that to make themselves the victim. How? Like, you saw the messages with your own eyes. We got news from Joshua saying he'd be coming in earlier than expected. So instead of end of the year, he was coming in a few weeks. And Melissa would be leaving to visit her family around the same time. Fast forward, Joshua gets in, they give him his lease agreement and he signs. And they show him his room and he starts bawling. He was like, what the hell is this? This is something you give to a dog. Sasha grabbed the broom and started hitting it against the floor and the walls, screaming, if you and Tess, that's me, don't want to be here, y'all can leave. I'm like, Sasha, we just got here. What are you talking about? You told us a 4-bedroom house. This is barely 3. You're legit pulling problems out of nowhere at this point. I told Joshua, let's just try and make the best out of it. So Joshua and I walked to Walmart to buy curtains to close off the open space to give him a little privacy. And on the way to Walmart, he told me to be careful because Sasha is a compulsive liar and she's extremely manipulative. I paid it no mind because I still saw Sasha as a friend. How you still see Sasha as a friend when she was running you to Melissa in the text messages and you still see Sasha as a friend? That's crazy. I didn't have a laptop at the time and was using my flip phone that was basically useless without Wi-Fi connection. Joshua had an old laptop and he bought a new one while we were in Walmart. When we got back to the house, he gave me his old laptop and told me I could use it for college until I got a new one. Oh, that's nice, Joshua. I logged onto Skype to talk to my sisters. Then I went and logged onto Facebook where Sasha made a post stating, you never know a person until you live with them. At this time, I didn't think it was about me because I just got here. At the time, I didn't think it was about me because I just got there and it couldn't be about Joshua because he just got there. A few days passed and Melissa left to spend time overseas with family and she left her teenage daughter with us for the summer. She didn't leave her with any money, nothing. So everything she wanted, me or Sasha paid for. I hope there's a fight at the end of this story. A fight where you win. So now it's time to pay bills. Up until this point, we haven't seen or met the landlord. Joshua and I hand our money to Sasha because she's familiar with the landlord and that's what she told us to do. Joshua came to me and said, when that landlord comes here, I'm going outside to speak with him. I said, okay. So a few hours pass and we get a knock at the door. Bam, bam, bam. It's the landlord. It was actually a woman. We were expecting a man. And Joshua ran to open the door. Sasha pushed him back with all her force. And I mean pushed him with all her strength and said, move, stay inside. And I'm just looking at Joshua like, that's odd AF. Her and the landlord stood outside and she handed the landlord an envelope with the money. When she was done paying the landlord, Joshua asked, what's wrong with him speaking to the landlord? Which Sasha replied, this is a small town and you're a black man. I don't know how they will react. She then got on the phone and told Melissa what happened, how Joshua ran to the door and that was legit the last time the landlord ever came to collect rent at the house. Then she called to tell her mum. What? So now summer is about to end and it's time to get ready for school for real. So it's time to go clothes shopping. So before I pick up anything for myself, I asked, did Melissa send money to get her daughter stuff for back to school? Sasha replied no, and that has nothing to do with her. So I got Melissa's daughter's stuff instead because she was entering high school and you know how that can be. Joshua stated that Melissa leaving her daughter with us with no money wasn't fair and that we were already paying a lot and college is about to start, so that's even more. So he pulled me to the side and said, hey, let's go look for another place to live because it's clear they don't want us here and the bills are becoming overwhelming for him. And honestly, I was down. Yeah, good. You and Joshua will go and get your own a thing. We go around looking and found a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house that was closer to the college for $450, water included. That's good. Light included. The library was across the street, so the free Wi-Fi. And I'm like, perfect. I told Sasha I was about to move because I couldn't see myself keeping up with those bills and tuition. We also didn't have much freedom in the house. She started crying and saying she wanted to move with us. She called her mum and told her mum me and Joshua teamed up with each other and we're leaving her. Her mum gave me a call and said if we move, we need to do it together. We came together, we have to stick together. So I said, okay, no problem. Now we be splitting 450 three ways. Sounds good to me. I had already took all my testing and everything ahead of the time, so Sasha went with Joshua to the school so that he could do his testing. During this time, I'm at the house and I got a call from the new landlord telling me to come for the keys to our new spot. So I took the town's transportation service over to the address he sent me. When I got there were a few people inside working on it, so they introduced themselves and they noticed I had an accent. They asked where I was from and I told them. One of the ladies said, oh really, I'm currently renting a house to a few ladies that are from the same place you're from. You might know them. Then proceeded to say Melissa and Sasha. And I said, yes, so you're the landlord for the house I'm currently living in? I got a glimpse of your face when you came to collect the rent a while back. She looked so confused and said the address that I was currently at. And I said, yes, that's the one. I said I signed the lease a while back, but it was getting too expensive. So now I'm about to move with Joshua and Sasha. She said, yes, I met Sasha, but I don't know Joshua. She asked me who signed the lease. I said me, Melissa, Sasha, and Joshua. She asked if she could see a copy of it. To which I replied, I don't have it. Melissa told us she had to give it back to you all ASAP. She said the only names on the lease she had was Melissa and Sasha, and they both got copies of the lease agreement. She didn't know Joshua and I were living there. She asked how much were we paying in rent, since I mentioned it was too high. At this point, the whole staff is surrounding her desk listening, and I gave her what Melissa and Sasha said to me. Rent, $2,000. Water, $300. Light, $300 to $400. The lady looked at me in complete confusion and told me the actual rent for the house was $649. Water is included, and the internet was in her husband's name and it was $50, and our electric bill was also paid through them, never went over $87. She wasn't allowed to give me the paperwork because my name wasn't on it, but she allowed me to see copies of receipts Sasha and Melissa signed. In shock, I said, so Sasha knew? And she responded, yes, Sasha has been giving her the actual $649 on the 1st of the month, and the other bills were due around the 18th, 20th. When Sasha and Joshua came home, I called Sasha and said, hey, can I get a receipt for the past bills that we were paying? I would like to show them to the new landlord. Sasha quickly responded, they never give receipts. I said, I know you're lying. Call the landlord. You have their number. Put it on speakerphone and ask how much is the rent. She started crying again. This one loves to cry, she does. Started crying again, saying she didn't know, that she can't believe Melissa did that, saying Melissa manipulated her and that Melissa did all her paperwork. She said that she really did not know. Mind you, I never told Sasha the price was off. All I said was to call the landlord and put it on speakerphone. And like a dummy, I believed her. Summer is almost... Wait, rewind. And like a dummy, I believed her. Wait, you believed her saying that it was all Melissa when you heard the landlord tell you in your face that Sasha gives her $649 on the 1st of every month. Like a dummy, I believe. So this is the second one now, girl. You're making it hard. You're making it really hard. You forgave the text messages of them cussing you out that you saw in your face. And now you're forgiven again. Why? What is it with Sasha? Why? Do you know what? Fast forward, summer is almost over. Melissa is on her way back. She gets to the house and notices almost every room cleared out. And she asks what was going on. Sasha said, we found a more affordable place to stay and we will be leaving. Joshua and I were in my bedroom at the time just listening. And Melissa bust in asking, what's going on? I said, I won't be paying another bill in this house. And I would be leaving. Melissa started screaming, you're in a lease! You can't break a lease agreement without fully paying! She ends up calling the police on us. I continue to pack my bags. Before we left, the police show up. Melissa was heated. She explained to the police what was going on, that we were on a lease agreement and about to leave without paying the lease out. So the police asked her to calm down and to hand them the lease. So I said, yes, please hand them the lease. She never gave the officers the lease and told them that everything was a misunderstanding, and they left. On the way out the door, she started yelling at Sasha and I. Would never forget. She said, "Sasha, you are such a wicked little girl because you knew." She shook her head and kept repeating, "Sasha, you are such a wicked little girl." In the midst of all of that, Melissa told me how ungrateful I was because I never ate the food she cooked for me. It was so random because everyone is yelling, the police was called, and you mentioned me not eating your food. What the hell? How does that fit in there? We're going back and forth from the old house to the new one to move things, and Melissa hands me a paper stating how much I owed for bills, to which I said, "Ma'am, I already know what the real bills are. I know exactly what you did. You took advantage of us, but I won't be paying you anything because what I've been paying since I got here should have been enough to cover a year plus." So we move into our new spot and we got adjusted. So now it's school time and I'm ready. I get to campus, walked around a bit so that I can get familiar with everything. Random people started walking up to me, introducing themselves, which I thought was normal because it's a small college and people are looking to make friends. Later in the day, I meet up with Joshua and Sasha. We go to the cafeteria and we have lunch. When we get there, a few people said, "Hey Tess," to which I waved and said, "Hey." They asked if I wanted to sit with them and I told them I was with my friends and that we could join them when we got our food. Sasha rolled her eyes and was like, "You just got here." After the first day of classes, Sasha got on the phone with her mum to tell her how everything went. But I noticed she mentioned nothing about her day. The whole conversation was about me. What I was wearing, how people were interacting with me, how my hair was fixed, and about me wearing makeup. It was so detailed, they even spoke about what fragrance I wore. I ended up becoming well liked around campus, even though I didn't speak much. They called me the shy, cool girl. Sasha also had a good friend group as well, and was known as the funny girl. She had all the jokes. I was so happy for us, I thought we were adjusting pretty well. One morning while I was getting dressed for school, Sasha stopped me and was like, "Do you have to dress up every day? It's like you're just begging for attention." Oh my God, I swear. I'm actually getting so annoyed because I'm actually like you, Tess. I am that person that dresses up. Doesn't matter the occasion. I'm going to give you a full couture look in Tesco. And who's going to check me? I was like, I'm not dressing up. This is my regular clothes. Exactly. When I dress up for real, you would know. I hate that. I was wearing leggings and a graphic tee. You were wearing leggings and a graphic tee? Oh my gosh. She rolled her eyes and walked off. It's still early on in the school year, but we are very well adjusted at this point. So we go to the cafe for lunch every day. And this one day, a guy approached our table. He introduced himself to everyone. He walks off and Joshua says, "He likes you, Tess." And Sasha blew up. She said, "All that guy did was introduce himself. How do you know? Y'all think everyone liked Tess, and that's not the case." Joshua said he's in my class and he saw me and Tess together. So he asked about her and told me he was interested. Joshua also said majority of the guys on the campus have came to him to ask him about Tess. Sasha replied, "They don't like her. They just like the way she's shaped. No one really likes her." And she started laughing. Is it? No one really likes her. This is hate to the next degree. But it's so mad because what was you saying? What was Melissa saying? Sasha is a wicked, wicked little girl. Whole time it was seeming like Melissa's the master manipulator and it was really Sasha. Snaky slithering Sasha. She looked me in my eyes and said, "No one will ever love you for you. They'd only like you for your body, and that must suck." Why haven't you punched her in the face yet? This is what I'm trying to figure out. I laughed and said, "Girl, it's not that deep. I didn't come over here looking for no man. I want that degree." The whole table was quiet. Then one of the African girls said, "Don't listen to her. She's jealous." Exactly. Why ain't you clocked this already? Sasha grabbed her bag and left. Later that night, she did the usual check-in with her mum, detailing what happened and how boys were starting to pay me close attention. Now at this point in my head, I'm like, this lady and her mum's entire conversations are always about me. They talk about nothing else, just me. And it's detailed, legit, every day. A few weeks passed and I noticed I haven't had a period since I came to Ohio. I also started to feel really sick and my hair was starting to fall out. I knew something was wrong because I rarely ever got sick. I know for a fact I'm not pregnant. Oh, okay. So I'm still a virgin. but I didn't know what was going on. So I went to the hospital and I got a full scan and they took blood, did all the things. Test came back normal. Nothing was wrong with me. Okay. The doctor stated I just might be overstressed. I'm in a new place. She said it was common. I was like, okay, cool. They gave me some antibiotics to help my hair and inflammation, and that was it. I went back to home like normal. Okay, let me just pause this. I just want to pause to say, Tess, girl, I love you, but this is the longest story I've ever received in my whole entire life. I want to show you guys after how long it is, but I don't want to miss my place right now because I've had to actually stop the video, clear my memory card because the memory card got full. My mouth was getting dry. Don't no one of you ever send me a story this long, please, in your life, because I actually have to sit here and read this. And who knows how long this video is going to be. But this is juicy though, so let's continue. So now we're deep into the school year, and I'm still feeling really sick. But the doctor already told me it was stress related, so I'm paying it. Everyone knows everyone at this point. It's a small college, and this one guy that plays basketball at the college let it be known that he was interested in me. I told myself I wasn't going to date while I was there, but I liked the way he presented himself. Very clean cut. He seemed cool in my opinion. So after months of talks going around campus that he liked me, he finally approached me. At this time, I still didn't have a proper phone, so I was not able to give him a number. So he asked for my email address, and that's what I gave him. I've always been too shy to go on dates and be around men alone because a lot of things happened to me as a child. But he seemed different. I had my guard up, but at the same time, I was interested in getting to know him. I told Sasha everything. She immediately said, why did you tell her? Like, oh, you're making me not even want to finish your story because you're moving like one yam. You're getting on my nerves. Why are you still talking to Sasha after what she said to you in the calf? In front of everybody. Okay, so let's recap. First, they were chatting shit about you on text messages and you saw it with your own eyes and you forgave. Then, after that, you saw the landlord tell you in your face, Sasha gives me $674 on the first of every month. And you still gave Sasha the benefit of the doubt to say, Melissa manipulated me. It was all me. No, you even had to concur with the landlord. You asked the landlord. So Sasha knew the whole time. And that's why the landlord said to you, she give me the money on the first of every month. And then you're still friend. And then she in the cafe talking about no one will ever love you. That must suck to know that people only want you for your body. And now, a guy likes you. And then the person you go run tell is Sasha. She said immediately, ugh, he's not even that good looking. His teeth are so small. He just wants to use you. He's not serious. But I wasn't telling her for feedback. I was telling her because that's my homegirl. I told everything to. She's not your homegirl though. She's not. So me and the guy emailed back and forth for a while and everything seemed to be going pretty good. Then I ended up buying a phone so we can talk for real. I let him know I got a phone, gave him the number and we spoke more. Then he asked me to come to his dorm room and send him pictures of me. I asked for what? He said Netflix and chill. I responded, I'm not that kind of girl. Sorry, you got the wrong person. He apologized and we went back to texting like normal. I told Sasha what was said because I'm still thinking this is my good friend. I still told her everything. She said, I told you no one really likes you for you, just your body. She told me to cut him off, which I didn't. And then she even brought it back up again. She really sat there and looked it in your face and you said nothing. People don't like you for you. They like your body. Oh my gosh, and she's not been boxed in the story yet, guys, you know. All now in the story, she's not been boxed yet, you know. Let's wait. Sasha became obsessed with the basketball boy and wanted to know everything we spoke about. She used to sneak my phone and read our message. What kind of tapped the heck? She used to sneak my phone and read our messages. She then went digging to find some dirt on him and she came back to tell me he had a girlfriend and he was messing with other girls on campus. It was true. He did in fact have a girlfriend at the time and he was dealing with other girls on the campus. Sasha was right. She showed me picture proof and everything. She also invited the girl he was dealing with over to our place to let me know that was her man. I told Sasha, thank you for letting me know because I didn't want to be out here looking crazy behind no man and I didn't want to hurt another woman. I stopped talking to him as soon as she told me. I was a little hurt because I was starting to like him for real, but not hurt enough to continue talking to him. Bye. Sasha said, I told you no one would... This bitch. I told you no one will ever like you. They just like the way your body is shaped. If y'all don't think words have power... Oh no, sorry, I'm still doing the Sasha voice. If you don't think words have power, they do. Because at this point, she told me that repeatedly and I was starting to believe it. I really hate that you believe that. I hope you don't believe that today. I really hope you don't believe that today. Fast forward, we're on Thanksgiving break and I get really sick to the point I could barely walk. I was limping and my legs are swollen. Why are your legs swollen? I go back up to the hospital and I saw the same doctor who told me the same thing. This time she adds that I should try making homemade meals. I was eating cafeteria and fast food a lot, so I was like, okay. But she assured me I was completely healthy. I didn't know what was wrong with me, and I didn't want to turn into one of those people who kept going to the hospital and nothing was wrong. I got some more antibiotics, and then I started taking a lot of pain medication. So Sasha decided to come back home for Thanksgiving break, and I stayed back because I didn't want to spend money on a ticket, and I wasn't feeling well. So Sasha leaves. A week goes by since she left and I finally got my period and the swelling in my legs go away. I never been so excited to have a period ever. Not only, what has she been doing to you? Oh my gosh, I'm starting to sweat. I've never been so excited to have a period ever. Not only that, I felt better. She called me on her lunch break and I told her I was feeling better and I finally got my period and that my leg was back to normal. So she was so excited and was glad to hear that. I basically had the house to myself. Joshua went to Miami with his friends, so I got invited out with the other girls who stayed back. I went to their place and we cooked, had drinks, and they taught me how to braid. Really neat. I started braiding hair to make money around campus and I was trying to get a better technique. That was the most fun I had since I came over. We started to have a heart-to-heart. And one girl, the same girl who said Sasha was jealous while we was at lunch in the cafe, said, "I'm so glad I got to know you despite what Sasha said about you." All the other girls were like, "Yeah, you're so chill." I jokingly asked, "What was said about me?" "Yeah, because what was said?" They said Sasha told them she hated me and that all I cared about was attention, that no one really likes me, she's just hanging around me so we can split bills. We're not friends, we're more so roommates. Wow. I did that awkward smile and I was quiet the rest of the night. I never told Sasha what the girls told me. Why though? You didn't even need to tell her, you just needed to go in the yard and then thump her up and then that was it. School is back in session and everyone is back in town and guess what? I'm sick again. And the guy from the basketball team is still trying to talk to me. I let him know I was no longer interested and he should leave me alone. He told me he broke up with his ex before he started talking to me. And he also confessed that yes, he was having sex with a girl on campus, but he cut that off to talk to me as well. He said he knew Sasha is the one that told me. I'm already sick as a dog and that's all I can focus on. So I didn't want to add any extra stress and told him to leave me alone. So the school year continued as normal. Sasha continued belittling and inserting small slick comments. I don't know exactly when the shift happened, but I became so used to her belittling me and taking shots to the point I didn't respond anymore. I've been fully conditioned to accept her lowness. The basketball player never stopped trying, by the way. The more he tried, the more upset Sasha got. That continued for the next two years. And I'm contemplating moving back to my village after graduation because I was convinced America was making me physically and mentally sick. Fast forward now, it's graduation time. My mum and sister came over and Sasha's mum came over. Sasha's mum got in first. The first thing she said when she came in was, "How are you and my daughter graduating the same time? Didn't you start a semester after her?" Sasha said, "Oh, test major is easy, so she doesn't need much credit." I said, "I switched my major to criminal justice and law. What's so easy about law?" Sasha started screaming, "I'm gonna be a doctor!" Her and her mum started laughing. My mum's flight came in. See, and this is what, when you guys send me stories, please, punctuation, because a lot of this is like a run-on sentence. It's making my eyes twitch. My mum's flight came in and her and Sasha's mum clicked instantly. My mum is outgoing and knows how to interact with people very well, so she's just adjusting and watching the scenery. We all head to the mall and Sasha and her mum sit together in the food court and I'm with my mum and my sister. My mum looked at me and said, "You gained some good weight. You look really good." And my little sister said, "Yeah, waist real snatch, butt real big," hyping me up. The old me would have ate that up, but I was so far gone, I just smirked and had a blank expression because the whole "people only like you for your body" was on repeat in my head. And then my mum said, "You know, some people are going to hate you because you look the way you do." It honestly didn't make sense to me because I never understood the concept of jealousy. My eyes started to water because I never told my family what was going on with me. But for some odd reason, my mum knew. So I told them I would be coming home for a few months while I looked for my next college. My mum and sister left after graduation and it was just Sasha, her mum and I. I didn't know what college I was going to go to, and neither did Sasha. So we were going to head back to our village while we figured out our next plan. But before we left America, we wanted to go to Florida, so that's what we did. Sasha's mum decided to come with us. So we're in Florida and we got a hotel room. Sasha's mum started complaining about the room and that it wasn't up to her standards. So we looked for another hotel and stayed there. We got settled in and went to Walmart. As soon as we walked through the door, I got stopped and someone complimented my outfit. I smiled and said, thank you. Then I got stopped again. Same thing. I got stopped again. And this time someone made a comment about me being a model. I looked in Sasha's mum's face and she rolled her eyes and says, you don't even look that good. All you're wearing is a basic t-shirt and jeans. People really gas anyone up. It's just your body these people see. Why have they got such detailed, hurtful, mean things to say to you though? Like, what have you done to them for them to even have this much vim? Like, why do you... That's the woman's mum now. So now the mum is now saying, you don't even look that good. All you're wearing is a basic t-shirt and jeans. People really gas anyone up. It's just your body these people see. When we got back to the hotel room, we all stayed in the same room. And the whole night, Sasha's mum talked about me, just belittling me, saying I need to sell my body. Oh my fucking gosh. Saying I need to sell my body, and that's the only thing I've got. While Sasha sat there and co-signed and laughed. They talked about me and laughed all night. Then Sasha's mum stated that when she was younger, her friends' parents told her worse things, so I shouldn't be so sensitive. She said I'm not exempt from being talked about. I had no reaction because I'm numb at this point. Before we went to the... sorry. Getting a little bit emotional here. It's quite hard to read. It's fucking bullying. Sell your body. That was the part that just made... Ooh. I had no reaction because I'm numb at this point. Before we went to the airport, we stopped at the flea market and there was this Indian guy at the same stall we were at. He asked me for my phone number and if he could take me on a date. I told him I wasn't from there and that was that. Sasha and her mum standing beside me saying, that's all she likes. Now we're in the airport and more people are approaching me, telling me how much they love my outfit. And Sasha's mum went off, completely crashed out. She was standing directly in front of my face, pointing her fingers at me, yelling. She started screaming, who do you think you are? You think you are somebody and you are not. That skirt you're wearing, you just bought from Charlotte's for $5. Shoes, $3. I was numb, just standing there. I felt like crap. The only thing I was thinking was defend yourself, but I couldn't move. This is what I'm saying, Tess, man. Why all now, man? Like, this is bugging me. Like, this is irking me so bad. Say something back, but I couldn't speak. I was in complete shock and stuck. Airport security ended up coming over to see what was going on, and an older couple came and got me. They sat me down and told me they watched the whole thing. I didn't respond. I was still stuck. Airport security ended up calming her down, and we boarded our flight like normal. My mum and aunt came to get me from the airport, and I told them everything that happened in the airport. My aunt was about to turn around and fight, but my mum stopped her. Why? Later that night, Sasha called me crying and apologising for the way her mum acted towards me. And I told her I was tired of both of them and to leave me alone for good. Sasha called my mum to explain the situation and called all of our mutual friends, and everyone started calling me once again. I'm the villain and she's the victim. Then Sasha calls me. I had a lot bottled up inside. I said, we've lived together for 3 years and you belittled me the entire time. You went around campus telling people personal things about me, saying it was someone else, and you tried your hardest to get people to hate me. It's pathetic. Every birthday I had, you managed to personally ruin or make it about you. Every guy that's approached me, you have a problem with, or you tried to find some dirt on them so we don't speak anymore. You did the same thing with me making new friends on campus. Please leave me alone. People kept calling my phone back to back, begging for me to stay friends with Sasha. So I gave in because... Yeah, I'm not reading the rest of the story. I'm not even going to lie. So I gave in because I thought, sorry, I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm not reading the rest of the story, because it's pissing me off. I'm actually getting really annoyed. Like, there's this much left. I'm not fucking reading it. I'm really sorry. I'm not fucking reading this. Like, I'm not... Piss me off, bro.